Good afternoon, my dear students. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about the traditions and the customs of Republic of Kazakhstan and the countries of studying languages. My full name is Osımova G, and so in today's lesson, we're going to talk about the Kazakhs traditions and the customs. So let's continue our lesson. Kazakh traditions and the customs. Aim of the lesson. The first one, to introduce with Kazakh traditions and the customs. The second one, to show the beauty and the peculiarities of Kazakh traditions and the customs. So, the third one is to talk about the languages of the study. The plan of the lesson to describe and demonstrate traditions and the customs of Kazakh people in pictures and photos. The second one is the research part. Interviews, do you know the traditions, national traditions of the country, performing one of the traditions in the class also, making some conclusions, why should we know our traditions and the customs. First one is the Shlikhana, the second celebration of new life in the Kazakh traditions was called the Shlikhana. And this gathering also included the participation of many young people. All guests wear the best clothes and rode their horses to the event if they had one. Elders came to give a bata or blessing, invited guests ate, had fun, and they sang songs to the tune of the dobra, a traditional two-stringed instrument. Young people playing this instrument were expected to compose and improvise songs during the singing. During the Shlikhana, the godmother sliced the boiled fat from a sheep's tail and put it in the baby's mouth. In this way, it was believed that the baby would learn how to suck, and the baby who was trained in such a manner was believed would never have stomach trouble. So Pisktoy, the arrival of new birth baby, is celebrated. Which colored Pisktoy? For babies, the traditions of Pitski Salu was practiced and involved placing the baby in the cradle for the first time. Special foods are prepared and all the relatives, neighbors, and the neighbor children are invited. Guests to the feast brought shashu or candies, coins, and coins. The baby's cradle is made by a special master carver. Only women who have conceived their own children are allowed to place babies in their cradles, and any woman who would place a friend's baby in this place of honor must see and present a new Kolaytus baby's mother. So Tsokisu, after the baby's cradle and the crawling stage, the scene is set for another celebration, when the baby begins to walk for the first time. Wealthy parents would butcher a cow for the celebration, less wealthy parents a sheep. For the ceremony, black and white thread was prepared in advance to tie the baby's legs. The mother would ask one of the more energetic women first to bind the baby, and then to cut the string. In this way, the baby's first step would be toward his mother. Everybody would then wish the family great success for the baby's future. Here the reader might ask question: why use black and white thread instead of red or green? White is symbolized in this case to mean hopes for success without any obstacles. Black and white is associated with the concept of honesty. Sunditoy, if the baby was a boy, 4 or 5 was the age for circumcision, and another toy. It was one of the remarkable days of the boy's life. Again, the relatives and the friends of the family gathered, ate, and had fun. From this point on, talk about the boys and the girls' upbringing separately, because a son's upbringing was accomplished by the father and the daughter's by the mother. Sevgili Kigizdu, for the seventh, the matchmakers will be invited to the new yurt. The bride's mother will put the saukile on her daughter. The saukile was an old-fashioned headdress for a bride. Upon seeing the saukile for the first time, the mother-in-law would give her a present colored korundak. In this saukile, the bride looked like a princess, and the entire wedding suite is beautiful. Busaga attar. After eating kuruk bawor, the groom is invited to the master yurt. Entering of the yurt is called busaga attar. The bride's parents would call the groom and kiss him. So, the next tradition is busaga attar. Yes, busaga attar, and after eating kuruk bawor, the groom is invited to the master yurt, and entering of the yurt is called busaga attar. The bride's parents would call the groom and kiss him. They stayed only a short time, and astrology is special bond for the groom because it has asaf. Asaf is a national toy of Kazakh boys. Playing with this toy, they learn how to count, which would later be important for a herdsman. The groom is treated to that bone in the hope that they might also have a son who would play the asaf. The breastbone symbolized the parents' wish of the friendship and the to bear together all the good and the bad aspects of life. So next slide. Once more time. So my dear students, the Kazakh people are rich in tradition sets from both their old age and the death. Every step of their lives has historically been marked with celebration. Even their funeral ceremonies have their own special symbolism. Unfortunately, many rich and interesting traditions and customs of Kazakh people have been forgotten throughout the past century. Real sovereignty is just now being established in Kazakhstan due to the process of democratization. These abandoned traditions are just now being rediscovered by the Kazakh people. These traditions include being respectful to all people, being patriotic to the motherland, being honest, and learning to love mankind. So, traditional every guest is offered Kazakh cuisine at the dastarkhan, located in a yurt. The yurt is one of the most sensible types of mobile house. It is comfortable and practical, suited to local conditions and the ways of life. One of the greatest intentions of the Eurasian nomads. It's easily taken part. It is said that the Kazakh woman can do it in half an hour and carried by horses and camels. The yurt consists of three main elements: an extensible trellis base, the kerege, a dumb hoe made of poles, the yuk, and the road through the shanrak. In ancient times, Turks were reputed as the most skillful felt makers. These days, the Kazakh used felt to cover the yurt and for its internal decorations, as well as to make carpets, dresses, and shoes. The Kazakhs love life surrounded by ornaments. They richly decorate the yurts with wool carpets and multicolored embroideries, handicrafts, harnesses, felt mats, sticky mats, and articles made of wood, bone, and metal are lavishly decorated. Headdresses, dresses, bags, and saddle clothes are beautifully embroidered. They use traditional designs and carvings to make and decorate the wooden cups, large bowls, and the ladles used to serve kumis. The horns of mountain rams and the goats are used to decorate beds and caskets. Leather is used to make quivers, belts, harnesses, and flasks. for water and commerce. Kazakh artisans are also very skillful jewelers. Sebzergers jewelers favor white silver, traditional Kazakh belt, shaped earrings, original bracelets, blaziks, yes, was a traditional bracelet linked to 3 rings with fine chains will certainly impress you. Kazakh national dress varies by regions. Men wear shapans, a kind of dressing gown with a belt and made of velvet and richly embroidered. They cover their heads with a soft skull cap to be tied, a tall-fed kalpak, or a fox fur hat with a black small high. The women's national costume consists of white cotton or colored silk dress, a velvet waistcoat with embroidered and a cap or a silk scarf. Older women wear a hood made of white cloth with a hole for the face, the kimishek. Brides wear a tall, pointed, richly decorated hat topped with feathers. Saukilya. Kazakh music and the musical instruments. The Kazakh loves the art of wordplay and the Akan's poets. He improvised at public competitions ides, accompanied Kazakh strings, musical instruments, the dombra or the kubis. Nowruz, Islamic New Year, is one of the biggest holidays in Central Asia. In Kazakhstan, it's celebrated on the day of the spring equinox, March 22. On that day, the streets of villages and the towns are transformed. Guests are hosted in beautiful yurts, with a traditional Nowruz kushe, dish made of 7 traditional ingredients. People respecting this nearly month-long holiday forgive each other's debts and offenses. National games. These are usually performed on the horseback and an opportunity to witness the Kazakhs' outstanding riding skills. Kazakhsha Chris, Kazakh wrestling, Bayga, horse racing over 25, 50 or 100 meters. Kopar, a sort of polo game played with the dead goat. Kazku, catch the girl, and Altabahan, 6-pole swing. Traditional customs in Kazakhstan. Shars Khazan is celebration of Bihal for long respected in this Zara baby. Children have always been highly prized by the Kazakhs. Kazakhs have also been known as a very generous people. For example, when an unexpected guest came to the house, the host would often butcher the only horse he owned in honor of the visit. The same practice might be followed if the household was blessed with the child. Tsaukisu. After the baby's cradle and crawling age, the scene is set for another celebration. When the baby begins to walk for the first time, wealthy parents will butcher a cow for the celebration. Less wealthy parents a sheep. For the ceremony, black and white thread was prepared in advance to tie the baby's legs. The mother would ask one of the more energetic women first to bind the baby, and then to cut the string. In this way, the baby's first step would be toward his mother. Everybody would then wish the family great success for the baby's future. National feasts. Nowruz is celebrated in most Eastern countries but is mostly forgotten in Kazakhstan. Holiday has now been reinstituted, enhancing our rich tradition. This holiday is celebrated in spring, when day and the night are equally divided, and when Mother Earth, people, cattle, insects, and all of nature begins to blossom and revive. Cranes and the geese return during this period from warm places and the signs of spring and everywhere. So they will greet each other with congratulations upon the beginning of New Year, in which one of another prosperity and happiness. During my childhood, I remember that we lived in a valley. So thank you very much for attention. Bye.